My name is Dave, and we're on part 5 of methods, right? It's a marathon series on methods, and I have the same program. Let's go ahead and click on this button and click on F7 or F4, or you can right click on it, go to properties either way, or just click on properties over here, and we're going to change the text. Just change it to we'll just go back to go, right? It don't matter, or you can put whatever you like in there. We're not adding anymore, so I just want to get rid of that. So okay, so I've just changed the text there. So let's go back to the code behind, click that tab if it's open. If it's not open, you can right click again, view code, or F7. Hit F7, go to the code behind. This time we're going to talk about overloads, overloading a method. So far we've only seen one version. We've seen methods that have multiple versions or overloads, but we haven't defined a method with multiple overloads. So that's what we're going to do now. So let's go ahead. I'm in the click event, right? Got all this old stuff commented out, right? I'm in the buttons click event, right? Like we've done before. You can double click on the button. So we're in the click event here. So I want to go ahead and define a method, and I'm go ahead and I'm just going to copy this. All right, I'm just going to copy that, and I want to delete the parameter. I'm going to delete this parameter, right? So, and I want to delete this. Let's go ahead and delete this, and I'll just say something like "How are you?" Right? Something generic. Okay, so all right, so now we've got. Let's push this down, so get it out the way. All right, make some space here. I like space. Okay, so note that now we have two methods with the exact same name. Two methods with the exact same name. So how do you know which one's which, right? And the answer is through the parameter signature. Note that these parameter signatures are different. Now you can't have two methods with the same name and the same parameter signature, and now it should buck on that, right? That's going to cause conflict, right? So we have okay, so we got two methods, right? Both with the exact same name, but we have two different parameter signatures. This one does not take a parameter, right? It hasn't been parameterized, right? This one has been parameterized, so it has a parameter. And that's the difference between these two methods, right? This one does not take a parameter. You can't pass a value to it, and this one you can. You can pass a value to this one. You can pass one string, right? So let's go ahead and call these methods. So I'm in between. Want to be above this curly bracket, right? I want in between these open and close curly brackets. This is the code block for this buttons click event. So what executes when you click that button. So you want to be inside these in between these two curly brackets, right? So let's go ahead and call. Introduce yourself, and click. Type in the open parentheses here, and you can see now it's one of two. Now we have two different versions of our method. We have two different versions, two different overloads. Actually, we call them overloads, not versions. You could call them versions or variations, but we usually call them overloads. So we have two different overloads, right? And I'm using my arrows, up and down arrows, to go through the list. So the first one has no parameter signature, right? You don't pass it, or you can't pass it a value. So that's the first overload. The second overload has a parameter defined to hold a string, and it's called name. So you pass it one string, right? You can pass it one string. So we can call either one of these, and the way C# knows which is by the parameter signature, by what parameters you pass to it. If I don't pass any parameters, if I don't pass an argument, if I don't pass values to the method, then it can tell by this parameter signature that I'm talking about this method, right? I'm not passing it a value, so that argument or lack of argument matches this parameter list, so it's going to go with this one. C# smart enough to figure that out. If I were to put a string in here, now it knows, hey, it's got a string, and that matches this parameter or this parameter signature. So it's going to call this method, right? It's going to use this method. So C# smart enough to figure that out, figure out which is which by the argument you pass, or what you pass to it, right? So it knows by the parameter signature, right? Okay, so we're gonna call this method, this first method. It's going to run this one, right? It's going to know it's this one because I'm not passing any value. So we're just going to call this, and we're going to get just the generic greeting, right? Okay, so click on the button. So now, how are you, right? Just a generic greeting. So now let's type in. Let's give it a string. Actually, let's do this. And I'll just name it name. I'll just do a variable this time. Switch it up a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to pass it this variable, this box, which holds this string name, right? And so now it's going to call this one, right? And actually, we can put a breaking point here. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so now let's do the step into, and it's going to step into this method, not this one. It knows it's this one because of because I'm passing it a string that matches with this parameter signature, right? It matches with this parameter signature, so it knows to call this one instead of that one, even though they both have the exact same name. You can tell the difference because of the parameter signature. So now it's going to run this one, and we're just going to keep going. And there you go. Hi, my name is Dave. Right. So okay, so let's add a few more overloads. Sorry, hit the wrong button. So let's add a few more overloads. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, paste, and we'll add two overloads. I gotta stop the debugging. If you see the purple squiggly, you know you're still in debug mode, right? Okay, so introduce yourself. Let's add int, and it's going to be age, right? So, and this is going to be age, and this is going to be another string. Favorite food, right? So how we got three different overloads, or four different versions of this method, four different overloads, right? Or three overloads, four different versions of this method. So let's do this. Well, actually, it's just greeting, and we're gonna do a little concatenation. Alright, so greeting. Okay, actually let's go ahead and add a new line. Environment.newline. Let's put a new line there. So that way it's not all on one line. And Alright, we need a string. Okay, I am space, and we're going to put age. So our parameter, input parameter box, right? Years old. Man, I have a hard time typing. Okay, so semicolon. Oh, and a new line. I want to concatenate a new line here again. So environments dot new line, and there we go. So, and we need one more. Greeting plus sign string. My favorite food is plus sign and fave food. I have too many books in front of me, that's the problem. Alright, so semicolon. So there we go. So we're going to concatenate these lines together. We got a new line, environment.newLine, just gives us a new line, so it's not all on one line. And actually we can copy this line and use it here. This gets the age. So there you go. So let's run, we've already ran this one, these first two. So let's run this, the second one, or the third overload, right? The third one. And yeah, there's four overloads, right? So let's go with the third one. So the first parameter is, and note now we have three of four, right? It's 3 of 4 overloads. We have 4 overloads. This is 1 of 4, right? It's 2 of 4, 3 of 4. So, and all right, so we have 4 overloads, and so we're gonna run this third overload, right? It takes a 1 string and 1 int, 1 string and 1 int, and actually this is going to blow up. So we got to convert this age. This is an integer, right? We got to convert it to a string. Cannot concatenate integers with strings. So we got to convert this this integer, holds an int, this variable, this parameter, this input parameter box, right, holds an integer, and we cannot concatenate integers with strings, right? And actually, I think the plus sign will do that implicitly. Let's do it explicitly, so it's clear. Okay, so we're going to convert that to a string. So we're gonna call this method. Because we're going to pass it 2 values. I'm going to put in 29. That's close enough. So my name. So I'm going to pass it 1 string, and then I'm going to pass it my age, right? 29, give or take 15 years or so. So I'm going to pass it a string and an integer. A string and an integer. That's what I'm going to pass it. So let's go ahead and set the breaking point here and run it. Okay, so and we're going to step into, so we passed it the string Dave and the literal int 29, and you see it's running this method, right? So it figured it out because of the parameter signature. I passed it 1 int and 1 string and 1 int. So this parameter takes 1 string, 1 int. So there you go, it matched it up, right? So let's step through this method, and here I'm just concatenating all of this. And then this just does the message box, so it should be, there you go. And somehow it didn't concatenate the new line. Oh no, it just didn't have a space there. Both things actually. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on. Oh, we don't have a new line here, right? So let's go ahead and copy this, or you just retype it or whatever. And we need a little space here, so we need to do the same thing here. A little space there, give a little space. All right, let's run this again. And I'm just gonna step over this time. I'm just gonna step over, just run the method, right? I just wanted to run the method. So there we go. Hi, my name is Dave. I'm 29 years old. We need a little space there. I mean, you could work out to make it look pretty, we needed a little space right here, right? All right, so let's use this last overload, this fourth overload, and we're going to include the favorite food. Let's do, okay, let's use variables for all of these, and this is going to be string, favorite food, and we'll just go with steak, right? Steak works for me. Okay, so now we're going to, pass it the variable instead of the literal 29. We're going to pass it a variable. Okay, so we're going to pass it these things, these variables. The name holds my string, right? My name. Age holds an integer, my age, close enough. All right, then this variable, favorite food, holds a string. I'm passing a string that says steak. So now I'm passing it 3 values. I have 3 arguments, right? 3 arguments. 3 different arguments, and this matches up with this parameter signature, right? It matches up with this parameter signature, string int string, right? String int string, and that's what I'm passing it, string int string, right? So it matches up, and again you type in the opening parentheses, and you can see the various overloads. This is 4 overloads. This is 1 of 4, 2 of 4. And it gives you the method signature as well as the parameter signature, right? Parameter signature. And also, just while I'm thinking about it, introduce yourself. Let's say if you type in name here, you put the first argument and hit comma. Now it gives, see how it gives you the second, tells you what the second parameter. You've already put that in, so that's going to give you the second parameter, which is int. Takes an int, you got to pass it an int, right? So you can do that with a literal int or a variable. Usually we would do that with a variable. It's the most common thing. But it's got to be an int, right? So, but this is giving you that second parameter. The second parameter. Let's just type this in, age. Now we'll type comma, and now it's giving me the third parameter, right? So it's helping me out. It's telling me what I need. Now you need another string, and that's the name of the of the parameter, right? So I just want to point that out. So this is the 4th overload, 4. Use your up and down arrows to look at the different parameter signatures, right? That tells you what data, what value, what type of value you have to pass. And this tells you the return type. And all these are void, right? All these are voids, which means they don't return a value. So neither one of these overloads are returning a value. They could, but they're not in this case. So let's go ahead and run this overload. And I'm still in debug mode. So I'm not going to set a breaking point this time. I'm just going to run it. And there you go. So that's the 4th overload. Okay, so that's it for part 5. And I will see you in part 6, which will hopefully be the last one.